I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree.
Hello, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode for the Tropical Gangsters Podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to build an irresistible offer. We have Fabian in the house, David in the house,
Hello.
and Dave and Sebastian in Japan.
Yeah.
So
We have one soldier missing, but we definitely
We
gonna
got
be
him down.
talking about great stuff, and definitely we're gonna make it up for you guys for having one man down. But definitely he'll be short. He'll be back soon,
Yes.
shortly
For the next one.
and yeah, for the next one. So let's talk about how to build an irresistible offer. So
actually, this is one of the main and the most important, because you can have everything. You can have the audience, and you can have, like, from all the things that we talked in the past on the other episodes. But if you don't know how to fulfill their needs, you're not doing anything. So basically, for me, one of the most important parts about creating an offer is knowing exactly which needs of your audience are you gonna fulfill. How you're gonna help them to go from point A to point B. Literally, that's one of my.
So the first step is basically like to define your audience, and then based on that,
Yes.
like just start like looking for the needs.
Yeah.
or even defining first what it's an irresistible offer. 'Cause,
Yeah,
they're-
actually, I was thinking about like
Yeah,
just
so-
defining your offer, but yeah, it makes sense as well, because for me it can be like easier to make it the other way around, as Guille said, because if I have already an audience, I can make like a little research on what their needs are, what they are needing right now.
Yeah, 100%.
But if I create first my offer, I mean, it would be created based on what I think that they would need. So yeah, I actually think that the first step would be to first define your audience.
Yes. And second, Fabian, what do you feel that is like if somebody asks you, man, what's like an irresistible offer? What would you say for that?
Well, that's like a really good question. The first thing that I'll definitely make sure that they understand is the difference between an irresistible offer and just basically being saving driven or saving focused, right? Just basically giving away discounts and stuff, which that's something that it's really good at some point, but at talking about the other fact, it's the fact that you should have the feeling of actually the customer making the most and getting the most value out of every single dollar that they spend on you. So it's more about the impression, the perceived value of what you're having, right? Because it's completely different that, for example, I'm talking about, I'm just giving you, for example, Black Friday.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect example of just being let's say like savings driven, because you're only giving away discounts to, generate a profit, which, if you talk about scaling, that's, you can make money, but at the same time, if you're basically making in reality, not like most people that they just put a price and then they just duplicate it by two, and that's the compare ad price. Basically knowing your numbers in a way that you can definitely leverage, the peak on how much profit you can make on an offer. It's super important, because if you're talking about something, an irresistible offer, that will be, I'll divide this in a couple points. For example, creating bundles, that's kind of one way that I will definitely create an irresistible offer. Having more colors or having more quantity of what you already have, or even add-ons. I don't know if you've ever guys been into a Vans store, something really interesting that I have, because I like to wear Vans. Once you go to the store, they have a specific bundle. So an add-on, it's basically, if you buy, for example, some board shorts, you can have extra a t-shirt. Or they even have like a $100 package, which you can get 2 t-shirts, let's say like 2 board shirts or 1 jeans, some socks, and like a pair of pants. That's like a no-brainer. So that's an irresistible offer that you can actually create. And something that I also wrote down here, it's being attention grabbing, like grabbing the attention of a customer, not only for the price, but actually the quality of the products that you're selling, right? So for example, or even really making sure that you're putting your name or your money where your mouth is. The one really good example that I've seen specifically talking about this is Ryan Dice, the owner of Traffic and Conversions. Mm-hmm. So he basically creates an offer. So for example, the ticket for that specific event was like $1,500. So he only charges $700 first, and he promises you that within the next year, if you haven't generated $5,000 with only the things that they're talking about in the conference, you don't have to pay the rest. So man, by that, he's literally telling you guys that if you don't buy his stuff, you're missing out.
You're missing
Yeah.
out making 500.
I think it can be
5,000K.
I think it can be summarized in just like over delivering, because if you can over deliver, how would you feel if, for example, let's say that you are going to buy a Facebook course from me, but I gave you also like email marketing course or this and this and this and this, you will feel like more like fulfilled
definitely.
just by me over delivering. And for me, it would be a really good way also like to create like really good fans of me, because of course you will be like continue buying from me. So if you can make sure to over deliver, not just like to make them feel happy, but to over deliver, I think that can be like a really good way in order to create an irresistible offer.
Yes. And what would you feel that that you can, how can you define like over delivering? So for example, let's say that I have I don't know, like an e-commerce store, or let's say that I'm more into like the personal brand. What you can say, how can you define or give an example of over delivering?
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good question, but for me, there's like several ways in which you can over deliver. One of those ways is just like to start like adding some bonuses to things that you are like offering. So for example, it is like really commonly that Facebook says stack bonus.
Yeah.
So that you say, for example, okay, this is like the main product, but also if you get this today or whatever, you are going to get this, and this. So you are buying basically one thing, but then you are getting a lot more things that than you were thinking.
Like an encyclopedia or something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, that's like something really easy, because you can continue like giving more value, or you can create like something really huge and then just start like dividing like the final offer in several parts. So you say like, okay, this is going to be like the main offer, but you are going to get this, and this. So in that way, you are adding more value. They are getting more value as well, and like everybody is gonna be happy.
Yeah, nice. And something to add there is like, if you don't, let's say that you're creating an offer or creating a product, and if you don't have an idea on what you can over deliver, literally just ask yourself a question like, okay, what I've done to get here. Like for example, for our e-commerce training programs, something as simple as how do we communicate with our suppliers. So one thing that we over deliver is that we give the templates on how to communicate with them.
Yeah.
How do I keep track of my numbers? So something that we over deliver is how we keep track of our numbers, like the P&L, the profit and loss spreadsheet. So literally it's just like breaking down, because sometimes you just take for granted something as simple as communicating with somebody.
Exactly.
But what you don't know is like your audience, they don't even have an idea on how to communicate with that somebody. So just giving them that tool is something that definitely is gonna be over delivering, and that's awesome, because you are meeting more of their needs in this case of making a business or making the business work. So that's, for me, is very, very, very powerful.
Yeah, something that I want to add, it's also, you know, like, and again, like coming back to the discounts, it's not like discounts are bad, it's that you have to know how to do them right? You have to basically give away like urgency, scarcity and value, and basically an exclusive, let's say, feeling towards, you know, that intention. It's not like, yeah, there you go, a specific amount of discount, because if you start doing that, you're basically, you know, giving a little feel that your store, it's, let's say, like not that valuable. If you, let's say, if I can talk about that, because like you don't see Apple like giving away 50% discounts, right? That will be something more kind of a Macy's, JCPenney type of thing. So like the best advice that I can give you, it's like focus more on being branded and being respected, and really, you know, having the best of the best with your products, and of course include that into the offer and creating it irresistible, but be more driven towards kind of the Apple style of marketing instead of the Macy's, JCPenney style, because that will basically turn into, you know, like a regular store that nobody at least gives that, you know, level of respect of the quality of the service, and, you know, creating that specific feeling towards your customer. For me, it's vital. And not only, you know, stopping there, because once you created an irresistible offer for, you know, a brand new customer, you can do the exact same thing with the same customer, which is cheaper. And that's actually where I've found out of experience is that that's actually where the money is. If you're able to create a post-purchase sequence funnel, that will definitely help you out, boost your sales by at least twice. Like I can definitely prove that. And the best way to do it, it's include always the customer in the journey. How are you feeling towards this? Sending away specific ads that are directed only to them, thanking them, appreciating
make them feel
them.
part of the community.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's something really important. Then you can create a specific funnel. I have templates, a lot of templates that we've been using, and definitely this is something that can be one step, multi-step, or even multi-step in different layers. So you can create a great experience if you really focus in creating this specific type of offers. And at the end of the day, you're going to get testimonials, user-generated content and all this stuff that at the end will help you generate more sales.
Yeah.
And also, go.
I really think that you need to compete on value and not on price, because if you are competing on price, you are that's not a business. So look at the example of Apple. Of course, they are not competing on price, but they are competing on value, and people really don't care about the price.
Value.
Yeah, exactly. The
Perceived
perceived value, and people don't care about going there to the store and spend 1.5K in a cell phone that can cost you $500 in another store. So you really need to focus on how you can over deliver, because they really make their users to feel like, oh yeah, I'm really good. I have
Just
an iPhone.
I'm paying $1,000, but it costs me, or this can generate me more.
Yeah,
cash
exactly.
than
They
that.
are selling emotions as well. So I think you need to focus really on your audience, how you can make them feel super happy, over deliver, and price is not going to be a problem for them.
Yeah, and also something to to wrap up with Fabian is sometimes people feel that just an irresistible offer is just I'm gonna sell just this, but actually an irresistible offer is what you sell at the moment and what happens next.
Yeah.
Literally, actually, the next part is one of the most important parts.
The experience.
Yeah, the experience. And also something that that is crazy, but it's true, is that sometimes a way to add more value or to create a more irresistible offer can be by increasing the price. Of course, it depends on the product and what you're offering, but sometimes increases the price makes people feel like they're being more important.
They're
or
exclusive.
They're more exclusive, so they will feel like they will value more your product. Even though we can sell it cheap, the truth is we will overprice it because it's over delivery, it's over value, and that actually will attract the type of clients that you want.
Yeah, a perfect example for that is, for example, if you have one really solid product and you create a premium version of it.
Yeah.
But you create a premium version of it, but this is where the marketing kicks in. So you're basically, in something that we've done, it's create a specific ad for the people that have purchased more than twice. Okay, so that's someone that has generated, let's say, a minimum of an average order value of $100, which means that they generate money for you, and if you really take care of them, you can, multiply this by 10 if you desire. So basically, what we do, it's create an ad that it's basically creating urgency, scarcity, and basically giving a lot of value by telling them, thank you, Mr. Customer, for being so loyal. We want to reward you with this limited time only offer, and this is only exclusive for you. And of course, you bought this product, but there's another newer version which is more premium that we know that you will guys love. So this will be available for you guys at this price for the next 15 days. And we're only giving them to you because you're our VIP customer.
Yeah.
But what do
And
we do then?
You already know that they like what you're selling.
Exactly. And number two, you're telling them that after 15 days, you're opening this offer to the public. So by doing that, you're killing two birds with one stone. You're basically telling your customer, Mr. Customer, I know you purchased this. We have a better and newer version, which is more expensive. And we're giving them an exclusive opportunity of acquiring this in the next 15, 30. And guys, you can set this for whatever guys you're doing, but it's more about creating that, psychological feeling of, I need to buy this stuff now because I will miss out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And let's say that you already have like you already figured out your audience. Let's talk about like a little bit more general, not just like on e-commerce, but what would you do in order to create your offer if you have like no idea? Let's say that you already have your audience, but you have no idea on what to create. So what would you do in order to get some ideas on what offer you can offer to your audience?
Well, first things first, if I don't know, if I don't have an idea, I'll ask. Like, that's the first thing. And I know it sounds dumb, but at the same time, just creating a simple questionnaire and asking your customers, what do you like? What are your interests?
Yeah.
What
do you need?
What do you need?
What
you know,
you're struggling with.
exactly. Like if you were doing an info product, something like that. But basically, I'll start just asking like questions. You can create a 5 to 10 questionnaire, 10 question questionnaire, and just basically ask them. Just always like never be scared of asking your audience what they want or what they need. Why? Because they're gonna tell you.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's like if I ask you something, hey David, do you like ketchup or do you like chocolate? You're gonna say yes or no. So the exact same thing. Any prospect or anyone from your audience, they will reply if you do it in a smart, sophisticated way. It's not that you're just gonna start sending emails with random stuff. It's just creating really the environment and basically like a survey, a questionnaire. That will be the first thing that I'll do. Second, with that data, I'll segment that data into, what are the top, 3, top 5, niches or demographics or age ranges or even just, by determining the gender, you will be able to think of creative ideas. For example, if you start asking, first things first, if you're selling something, or you're not telling me that they were selling something, so let me take a step back. So if you don't know, start asking questions. So for example, do you like fashion, yes or no? So some men will say yes, and some women might say yes, and some people might say no. And so you will have a percentage. So for example, if that question, that percentage of people that replied yes, it's 60%. So you know that they're into fashion. Then what type of, fashion do you like specifically? And I will just start like breaking down those into questions, and that will give me enough input. So for example, if right now the season is, winter, so you will have an idea that people are into winter products. So you will start, looking for coats. You will start looking for boots. You will start looking for, sweatshirts and all this stuff, hoodies, like really comfy shoes and all this stuff. So you will come up with ideas based on the data that you're getting from your list. And I will start working my way up like that. And once I have a winning product, I'll start diversifying, like still asking questions to my audience, because for me, that's a no-brainer. And people will say, yeah, that's not kind of a really agile way, but I really believe about, really going into my audience and listening my audience, because that's basically something they're telling me. Like I can talk to, 10,000 people that if they're telling me that they want X, I'll give them X. I'm not giving Y. So I'll just start like building the foundation from there until you have like a really solid audience that you can be selling a specific, either one product, like a mono product, or multi-product. Like it completely depends on how you start building your audience, but asking questions will be the first thing that I'll start doing.
I am pretty sure that there's like a lot of people here listening to us right now that they have also like info product businesses or something related to that. So Guille, what do you think that they can do in order to figure out an offer if they are like into the info product niche?
What you can do is, like, for example, once you already know the audience, something that you can do is ask a right question for yourself. Like, okay, how can I fulfill this need? Let's say that my audience, they need to feel, significance. They need to feel significant. So that's my need. That's the need that I'm gonna crush it on. So how can I do it on the most unique way? Because the truth is that you can do it. Making somebody feel important can be easy, but you need to do it on a 10x way better than what everybody else is doing. Yeah. So what you can do is that once you know the niche that you are, the need that you are trying to fulfill, literally make a research. It's always okay to look what other people are doing. Yeah. That's something that we do all the time, and we model all the people that are already having something very successful, but with our own style and our own outcome. So that's something very, very powerful, and literally can save you months and hundreds of dollars and hours of focus. And actually, I have a client today asked me, hey, Guillermo, it's okay if I copy another like style of a product page. I mean, it's like, yeah, man. I mean, it's totally okay. Just make it in your own style. If that's working, you can apply it. If that goes aligned with your business, of course, you can do it.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can definitely apply when making an irresistible offer. And something very important about creating an irresistible offer is how to price it and how to put the things together. And that will go definitely like everything wrapped up, and depending on the quality of value that you are given. I mean, if you are, for example, like the example that Fabian said, if you are like 100% certain that you're gonna over deliver, you know that your price point is okay, that's okay. I mean, just don't get distracted if you're selling an info product and somebody else is selling it on $100. Don't feel that you need to sell it on $100. Maybe your value is $1,000 or $2,000.
Yeah.
So
Actually, for me, like the easiest way, like to create a offer based. I mean, if you have like an info product business, it's just like what you said. It's just, I mean, not copying, of course, but model. So you just go and make a little research of successful people that already had success, of course, with a similar product, or that they are like in the same niche or something like that. And something that I feel that most of the people, I mean, it's like a false belief or a limiting belief, is that, okay, let's say that I am into the fitness niche or something like that, but I said, okay, yeah, there's like a lot of competition, so I'm gonna try to create something like completely new, something that never seen before or something like that. But for me, it's like more risky, like to create something totally new, because you don't know if people is going to like it or not, or if people need it or not. So for me, like the easiest way that you can create an offer is just go ahead and make a research of successful people out there, just model it, like make it like better, like an improvement, and just put it as a new opportunity. So competition at the end is good, because, for example, let's say that I have a competitor, right? If they are doing like bad, people is going to look at me and they are going to think that I am super good, that I am like better than the other one. But if my competitor is good, that's also, for me, that's good as well, because they are going to bring more people into the market. So at the end, like, competition is good, and that's like a good sign that the offer is going to work as well. So yeah, it's just go ahead and model what is working, make it better, of course, and just like put it as a new opportunity for your audience.
Yeah, 100%. I really believe that the play here is basically just, going to, looking for that high perceived value, right? And that definitely, it's going hand in hand with, the quality of the product, and basically, how, what, number one, what's going to be the experience, and number two, how they're going to feel after, they receive the product. And, if it's an info product, it's, like if I learn from this, even if you didn't got any results, because, I've been there, like I bought courses that, they, for example, if they advertise something in specific, I might not achieve that specific result because that's a strategy based on that person, but I'll definitely learn the principles on how things work. And if I use those principles, they're going to end up working for me. So at the end of the day, like if you're able to, receive value and get something from anything, that's basically the way to go. So it's more in line, at least for me, in what's the perceived value. And something that I really wanted to talk about, it's, how can we, talk to the audience and really let them know, like, what's the easiest way, or what's the most common way, at least for, getting started, to create an irresistible offer. For example, we don't have, let's say, like a huge amount of budget. So you ask me, like, how will I get started? I basically ask, like, I really tell you, like, with the questionnaire. But for example, let's say for a specific example, let's talk about e-commerce or dropshipping, because a lot of people here are gonna just have an idea. So if you, for example, started a Shopify store today, what will be, for example, the route that you will take, or the path that you will take based on what you already know and you have applied? Which will be the best way that you'll create an irresistible offer with a tight budget?
Yeah, well, basically, I would do again what I just told, like for the info products. It's just like to go out there and make a little research of what other successful stores are doing, just like to start looking deeper on what their offers are, and how can I start putting like some different parts of every store that I am looking together and make it like an irresistible offer for my store. And sometimes it doesn't need like to be like something super complicated or something like that. Some small details, like for example, just like to put like a little, I don't know, like a thanks sticker to your offer or something like that.
Thank
like
you note,
thanks
yeah.
for like, yeah, thanks for ordering from us. Here's like a little discount coupon for your next offer or something like that. That's something that is not going to be like super expensive for you, and those small little details can make like the whole difference for your brand, for your store, for your audience. They are going to say like, yeah, they are really taking care of me. They send me like this sticker. I'm gonna feel happy that I saw that sticker. So most of the times you don't need like a lot of budget to make those like small like little details. Of course, when you have like more budget, you can make like some more crazy things, but
Like the ones that I mentioned.
yeah, exactly. But when you have like no budget, there are some little details that can make like the whole difference and make it like an irresistible offer.
Yeah, and also something else that you can add is like, for example, let's say that you're selling, I don't know, something for the pain in the back, like a product for the pain in the back. So what you can do is like, you're not just selling the product by itself. You're selling like the whole experience, as Fabian said. So what you can add is like, if you buy this from me, I will give you like the top 10 hacks on how to optimize your posture so you don't have pain in I don't know in your back.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, or how to sleep better. You know,
yeah,
how to
you-
really-
and literally it's something that you just create once. It's digital and
PDF.
it's a PDF. It's something that takes time, but you can do it just
Take note,
like
guys.
one time, and it will be.
an offer
won't make any
one-to-many.
cost for you. It's like a one-to-many offer, and literally just something that complements the product that you're selling, and it's something that not everybody is doing. It's something that you can do it. They get just focus on creating that document or that video or something. I don't know, and literally it's one-to-many.
Yeah.
You don't need money to. You don't
Yeah.
need more money. The money in this case is not an excuse.
It's so funny that you're talking about it because I talked at the beginning of add-ons. So you're basically adding on a PDF, which basically costs nothing. You can create one yourself. It could be a 1-pager, 2-pager. It doesn't have to be much, but it's basically those little details that you're giving away just because you really care for, your customers, the customer experience, the customer value. So definitely, I agree with you guys. Those are really, really awesome ideas.
Yeah, the end is just about figuring out how you can add more value to your things, and that's it.
And what would you feel is the best principles? Sorry, the best principles on how to give your audience a nice experience. I mean, I'm not talking like about a video or something. I'm talking about like the principles. Like, how will you define a nice experience?
Well, first thing, so one, product or service quality. So that's by number one. Number two, fast expedited shipping, amazing customer service, and support.
Yeah.
So by support, I mean not only just people, I want to open a ticket or I want to open a chat. No, that really means our emails, our retargeting towards them, because that's basically the only way that you will stay, of course, in this amazing digital era. You're going to stay in people's minds. Because if you don't do this or take this, at least 4 steps that I just talked about, and they're just like really simple,
Yeah.
people are going to buy and they're going to forget, and you're going to be in the dust. So, being remembered, number one, being memorable, number two, and always exceeding people's expectations.
Yeah.
With those, 7 points that I say in
under
total.
under promising and over delivering.
Yeah, exactly.
And, it's like, like money back guarantee. That's like at this time and era, it's really, really important. Like, warranty, for example, like looking for the reasons why people are not buying from you. That's also really important.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Actually, that's one of the most important part of the equation.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell you're not buying from me if this is awesome?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you're just missing like the most important part.
and reason number one, it's probably they just don't have the money. But what if you can offer payment plans?
Yeah.
So you remove that layer from the equation. So now you can start digging and digging and digging in and digging in, and you're basically going to end up, looking for, instead of finding problems, you're going to start finding 4 solutions instead of, those problems getting to you faster, you're going to be, overriding them with solutions.
Yes.
So I really believe that, having an irresistible offer, it's a must, for anybody, not only on online businesses, but in regular businesses. Like, if you're selling popsicles, don't only sell popsicles, sell something else, sell the experience. Like, even if the guy, it's kind of just like wearing one of those crazy beach, like button shirts, like with Hawaiian, like flowers and stuff, you're going to remember that guy and you're going to be buying popsicles from them. So it's just being memorable, separating yourselves from the herd, being different, being out there, and most importantly, always being honest and putting a smile on people's faces, right? So that's something that I really care for.
And I think that it's not just related like to the offer itself, but also like you say, like the support, like the customer experience that you can have. Because for example, when I am buying, for example, in Amazon, I feel like really safe. I remember like the first time that I sent a gift, it was like to a friend of us that he lives in Canada. I bought like a little book, and then I purchased it on Amazon. I ship it, and it says like it is going to be delivered like in 2 weeks. And then like 3 days later, he sent me a message like, "Hey man, thanks for the gift." And I was like, "Man, it is in 2 weeks."
Under promising and over delivering.
Yeah, and he told me about I already got it. And then also like I remember that one day I ordered something. I think that it was actually for Sebastian. I sent something to Sebastian that he was in the US. The package didn't arrive, and I contacted like Amazon, and I just told him like, yeah, the package didn't arrive. And like, man, like literally like
they didn't even ask.
Yeah, 5 minutes later I had my money back. So that's like a little small details that
and that's why Amazon is Amazon.
Yeah.
Because they actually, it's not because it's because Amazon forced people to work under those guidelines, but those guidelines are the exact same ones that you should be applying to your business.
Yeah.
Because why people are buying from Amazon? Because they trust and they care.
Yeah.
So if you provide trust and care, what will people care if they're buying from Amazon or they're buying from you? If you're providing even a better service from Amazon, who cares? And not only Amazon. Remember that Amazon, it's only, of course, like really solid in like the US with Amazon Prime, and people, and this is something that we all have to fight against, right? Like people, they're really spoiled that they're receiving their products in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, right? So also really, having this into account on your business, on, for example, people that are in the US. But if you're also selling in people, for example, in Europe, in Australia, in Asia, or Latin America, if you provide even the similarest service, like for example, if you can provide something, we're in Costa Rica, by the way. So imagine if you bought from here in Costa Rica and we got it in 3 days or 4 days or 5 days, man, everybody will be buying there because we don't, as a country, we don't have that experience. But if you really look and, go over those hurdles and really care, people are going to go nuts, and you're going to be outstanding out of the whole market, and you're going to be, hey people, you can buy from me, you're going to be safe, you can get your,
you can trust me.
You can trust. If you don't receive your product, you can keep the product, and we're going to give you a refund just because we want you to know that we're not, effing around, and we're going to send you
and we don't think
coupons.
that you're lying.
Exactly.
That we trust you.
Exactly.
You trust in us, we trust in you.
Exactly. So you're basically putting yourself, it's like, being different always in the best way possible, right? So that's what people are going to remember.
Yeah. And
at
also,
the end of the day.
Something similar can be applied as well in the info products. Literally, like the same principles: trust, taking care, and also that I feel that something that can be applied, but not in e-commerce in this case, but more in info products, is give people tools to measure on what you're helping them. So, for example, let's say that you're helping them on, I don't know, how to build confidence. That's your product. So literally, after they bought your product, give them the measurements so they realize, because sometimes people feel like, oh, this is not working, but you ask them like, okay, how you felt when you bought it? I always feel like shit. And how you feeling now? Man, I'm feeling okay, so the product is working. So give people the experience, like the measurements to like the tools to measure the experience. So they don't need us to realize like the product is working. Literally, it's just about getting them, like, if the truth comes out from them, you are done. Literally, it's you don't need to brag about. They already realize it. And something actually that happened to me. I'm just coming from an event from Tony Robbins. Was insane. And literally today, I just checked my email. The event finished like yesterday. Well, on
Sunday.
Well, 2 days ago, and they sent me an email, like a follow-up email, like, "Hey, Firewalker," because in the first day you walk on fire. So just by that, they're just like empowering you. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's part of the experience. And also, here's like a summarize of what you experience in the event. Here's the video, and also they put some tools there. They also put some notes on the things that you might take for granted, but when you see them, you feel like, fuck, man, yes, that's what I live, that's what I learned. So
You know what's that? They're rubbing all the value that they gave you in just a fraction of days on an email.
Yeah, and something
So
simple, just like an email that it doesn't take you like
It's
a
just
lot
a
of
simple
money
call
or
out.
team.
It's like a simple call out that
Yeah.
you're doing. Yeah, you came here, you received this. Don't forget about
And
this.
it's the thing that Guille was telling, is one to many. Of course, it's like kind of the same email, like to all the attendees of the event, but you are feeling good.
I mean, since the moment that I bought the ticket, they already knew that I was gonna receive that email. I mean, that
of
was
course.
already.
It's part of the customer journey.
Yeah, that's sorry. That flow was already set up.
Yeah.
And that's because they know they had an irresistible offer.
Yeah.
But the product by itself, like let's say like the ticket of the event, but more important than that, they had an irresistible offer because they already knew how the experience were gonna last after 1 month, 2 months, 1 week. It depends on the
Year.
product, but they already knew because they knew what type of irresistible offer they wanted to bring on.
Awesome. So, guys, I think we should start wrapping up now. You've been dropping a bunch of golden nuggets.
Yes.
But definitely, hope all you guys that are watching are getting a lot of, value and lots of interest from this.
Yes.
These are simple conversations that can help you a lot. So, if you really find this interesting, don't hesitate just visiting the tropicalgangsterscall.com. We're going to be definitely interested in, listening to you. We're giving away 100 free calls. So definitely, if you're interested, go there. We have a funnel set up for you. Just leave us your personal information. We're going to take it from there. Any wrap-up, final conclusions?
For me, one of the main questions that you need to ask yourself, how can I satisfy the needs of my audience more, like literally crushing my competition? Like they feel like they want to be like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So for me, it's just basically like over-delivering, like giving more value, just like 10x the value. If they are giving like this value, if my competition is giving this value, I'm gonna give this, and this. So yeah, it's basically over-delivering, make them feel good, satisfied, and give as much value as you can to your audience.
Awesome.
Yes.
So my final ones, they're really simple, and they are basically, just tying up to what I said at the beginning. Become a company like Apple, not like a Macy's or JCPenney. Don't be that type of company that they're only giving away sales or discounts just to generate revenue. Like, you really need to stand out, do what's best, take always care of your customers, and generate the best amount of value out of them.
Yeah.
So for me, that's key. So hopefully, all these conclusions and all this podcast, it's really good for you guys. I'm really happy with, what we've been doing. The next episode, Sebastian's going to be back. So those who are missing him,
fire.
so the ones who are missing him are gonna be happy. And
Over-delivering.
over-delivering. That's why we're over-delivering delivering
We are
now.
bringing
so,
Sebastian back.
So that's
Imagine
why.
Sebastian recharging his batteries from Japan from 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's why, guys, you should go and visit the tropicalgangsterscall.com. Really, don't hesitate, and definitely we want to see you there. We want to see your number. We want to see your name. We want to get in touch with you. We want to see how can we help you. And that's basically everything that we want to say today, guys. So thank you so much. We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
your time, and see you in the next episode. Tropical Gangsters, boom, bye.